what Juicy say? He like, DJ motherfucking BK coming back with volume 20 on y'all motherfucking ass side. Seeing this dope shit. Y'all probably wonder what took me so long to drop this shit. Yo man, why don't you go and pop your TV? Let's check this out.
Welcome. Yeah. Damn, number one of the chat. It's your boy from south of Boston, Lenny. Yeah. We're listening to that Arturo Smoke Sessions Volume 2, Nothing Changed with Dr. Junt. Thank you so much. To number one in the chat, Lenny, of course, our number one financial contributor and a damn good streamer in his own right. So make sure you're liking and subscribing, folks. I have a very limited amount of time, so I'm just going to get right into it, and I won't even bother with an intro. It's in the title. If you want an update, just check the title. We're blasting through it. We got a lot of stuff to go through, a lot of current news. It's all happening right goddamn now. Might as well just start with the Trump crap right off the bat. Hope you're doing well, Lenny. One of these days I'm going to find time to actually plug into that stream. I do try to pop in and give you the view, but man, I tell you, I don't even have time to respond to my text half the time. But anyway, okay, let's get into it. I don't have time to waste. Once again, though, thank you, Lenny. There we go. Living the dream. Oh, let me tell you. I'm putting diapers on my dog. I'm putting diapers on my kid. Start putting diapers on my head and screaming into them. All right, no. So let's get to the Trump shit right off the bat. We got a couple things here. And big props to your boy, Davey, who has provided a few of these links. Also, Woke Patriot has been providing some links. Tisriel, strategy member, and of course, Leon as well. If I missed you, please let me know. Of course, people might be trickling in. Actually, I didn't tell the Discord, so let me actually, I think I forgot to tell the Discord here. Yes, I did indeed forget to tell the Discord. It's game time. There we go. We'll get more people trickling in. All right, but let's get rid of this Trump shit right off the bat. Let's fucking, you know what I'm talking about. Let's get these assholes right out of the way. Trump supporters are leaving in the middle of his speech. Read the craziest thread on Twitter about what's going on in Russia. Davin, what are you talking about specifically? We will be getting to Ukraine at the end here. Trump supporters are leaving in the middle of his speech. This event has quickly become a total failure for Trump, a huge miscalculation. I don't know, you know, that's Midas Touch saying that. I mean, come on with Midas Touch over here. These there's basically pro-Bush. You know, we didn't mind the Republican Party until Trump came along. And we pine for the day that the Republican Party will return to some, you know, state of what they considered honorable, when in fact it was the very thing that the people that are at Midas Touch supported 10 years ago that helped create the framework that we now see with Trump. Russia Defense Ministry and Shoigu I heard some, news analysts say that it wasn't that big a deal. It's just kind of routine kind of shit. What's so crazy about it? Shoigu's still in power. He's just in less power, and they just got a different guy in there. But anyway, back to this clip here. So we this big thing, I think in New Jersey, right? Something like that. They're Trump and his cronies talking about how this is a massive success, and we see here people like literally leaving
half-frozen snake,
mid-speech, like I'd rather beat the traffic. We've heard it before, like the novelty. Okay, the novelty's over. Okay, we saw him. We can just tell our friends, yeah, we saw Trump. Like we're gonna vote for him. Yeah. But he's, I don't know about huge miscalculation or anything, but it does show that he doesn't have this totally cult like. He's a novelty. He's like a freak show. You show up, you say, oh yeah, I saw the bearded lady. I saw the diapered man. Okay, then we wanted to beat the traffic though, so we left a little early. We could hear the rest of it on YouTube.
With the dew. Poor thing, she said.
Oh my God, who knows what the hell he's talking about? Fucking psychopath. So, thank you again, Davey, for these clips here. Because when I see this shit, half the time I don't even have the energy to put it in the Discord, because it's just like, this man is. And do we need any more reason to hate this man, to do everything in our power to destroy? You know what I mean? Like, but no, it does need to be documented, of course. But it's just, he's beaten me down. I'm so fatigued. He's reading them a God Bless America Bible. Oh, hopefully he signs it with his name right next to Jesus there. Trump, Silence of the Lamb, the late great Hannibal Lecter. It's a wonder. So this has been going around, and I don't even know what to say. So apparently he brings this up quite a bit. It's some kind of rhetorical gotcha. I think he's trying to some kind of loose comparison to like his enemies are like Hannibal Lecter. I'm not even sure, because it really does sound like he's talking about Hannibal Lecter. One, like he's a real guy. And two, like he thinks he's pretty cool, and that he's I don't even know what point he's trying to make here. So if people in the chat could maybe help me after listening, that would be great. Let's have a listen.
Silence of the Lamb. Has anyone ever seen a Silence of the Lamb?
Yeah.
The late great Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner. As this poor doctor walked by.
Yeah.
I'm about to have a friend for dinner.
Yeah. Remember when he fed that kid a little piece of human brain on the plane? Yeah. Cool guy.
But Hannibal Lecter. Congratulations, the late great Hannibal Lecter. We have people that are being released into our country that we don't want in our country.
What? No, there's got to be a point. One more time.
Silence
There's
of the
got to
Lamb.
be a
Has
fucking
anyone
point
ever seen
here.
a Silence of the Lamb? The late great Hannibal
Thank
Lecter.
you, Davin.
He's a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner. As this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner. But Hannibal Lecter, congratulations, the late great Hannibal Lecter. We have people that are being released into our country that
Just literally, yo, Hannibal Lecter, my boy. Yo, you ever heard of this guy? Silence of the Lambs. He was so funny when he said that thing. Anyway, back to hating immigrants. That was the non sequitur of non sequiturs, dude. That's the like it literally. It's like, okay, do Hitler next. Hey, you ever heard of this Hitler guy? He used to run Germany. Really, brought the country together for his people. You think he's like, okay, he's doing a bit. It's sarcastic. And then there's no punchline, and it's totally not sarcastic, and he's segueing into something else. It's like, whoa, dude, you forgot the part to be sarcastic about this. You literally just praised Hannibal Lecter. I'm not playing, by the way. Watch the movie Hannibal. That's how it ends. It's the last scene of the movie. He takes a little piece of Ray Liotta's brain, and he gives it to a curious kid. What you eating, mister? He's got it. He's got it in like a Ziploc container. He's little doggy bag, little to-go bag. Yeah, it was a great scene. I mean, hard to watch. Where he feeds Ray Liotta his own brain. Oh my god. It's basically just fat, so it'd probably taste really bad and like flavorless. Probably have to flavor it up. All right, we got to keep moving. So I don't know, man. That's, people are saying like he's mentally declining and all that stuff, but I mean, he's, the part of his brain that knows how to lie and gaslight seems to be good, but apparently he's slurring more. And dude, this is just a straight up appraisal, of Hannibal Lecter. I don't even know what to fucking say, man. He should just kill somebody, in the middle of Times Square. He should just do it. There's going to be at least one loyal Trump fan that'll be like, look, I'll sign whatever I need to sign. But if Trump wants to put a gun to my head and right, I'll sign whatever. I'll give it, there's got to be at least one loyal MAGA fan willing to do it. But just go ahead. Did anyone in the crowd go, hey, did he just praise Hannibal Lecter unironically? Did he just... Anyway, okay. Anyway, the whales, the killer whales kind of know what the fuck's going on, because for the second time now, this is the second time I've reported on this, yacht sinks after latest incident involving orcas in the Strait of Gibraltar. Hold on, let me switch this up here. Hugs and kisses, whales. Okay. We can't call them what, Twitch won't let us call it what they're actually called, guys. They're called hugs and kisses whales. Okay, because we can't say the other word because it makes Jeff Bezos nervous. Because how the hell are you gonna sell bleach talking about hugs and kisses whales? You know what I'm talking about? Vessel measuring 15 meters in length sank after encounter with the animals, Spain's Maritime Rescue Service reports. An unknown number of orcas have sunk a yacht. Oh, it's orcas. It's not even killer whales. Okay, goddamn it. Doesn't even make sense. Okay. Joke sucks. Fucking you suck. Fucking suck. No one thinks you're funny. What the fuck are you doing? It's a complete waste of time. What the fuck are you doing? Anyway, back to the article here. An unknown number of orcas have sunk a yacht after ramming it into the Moroccan waters in the Strait of Gibraltar. Spain's Maritime Rescue Service have said in the latest of a series of similar incidents involving the animals. But like I said, this is not the first time I've reported on this. Orcas are fucking up yachts, and it's interesting. Scientists have a theory. They think it's has something to do with their engines or something. I think the vessel Aboran Cognac, oh my god, which measured 15 meters, 49 feet in length, and carried 2 people, because that's the world we live in now, encountered the highly social apex predators, also known as killer whales. God damn it, I'm wrong twice. They are killer whales. Orcas, a.k.a. killer whales. See, I don't know anything, okay? Look, high school, you know what I was doing in high school? I wasn't reading my books, I can tell you that. So I blame this on my teachers, so good job, Mrs. Robinson. No, you were incredibly sweet. I'm trying to be funny. I don't have time to read everything in the chat. I'm sorry. I only typed it 5 times. They're the same thing. No, they're not. No, they're not. At 9 a.m. local time on Sunday, the passenger reported feeling sudden blows to the hull. Wow, so they're literally ramming it hull and rudder before the boat started taking on water. That's literally like a horror movie. That's totally how they do it in the horror movies. They just slam into the side of it and crack it open. But usually it's unrealistic because the animal, it's like, oh, that's ridiculous. How would an animal know that? Oh, that's ridiculous. That's Hollywood. So no, they figured it out, dude. We're gonna have to armor up our boats. Because Mother Nature's had enough of our shit. See, that's what the aliens are doing. Those UAPs are coming down, fucking with the Navy. They're talking to the animals, okay? They're giving the message, hey, you gotta do something. They're doing the Aquaman thing. This is legitimate, okay? New World Order. Okay, welcome to the goddamn InfoWars break-off fan stream. Passengers reported feeling sudden blows to the hull and rudder before the boat started taking on water. After alerting the rescue services, a nearby oil tanker took them aboard and transported them to Gibraltar. The yacht was left adrift and eventually sank. I don't know. Awesome. Awesome. That's super awesome. Go Mother Nature. I feel like, look, even if it is like there's a scientific explanation and yada yada, I feel like we should still take it as a sign. You know what I mean? Like, that's a sign. That's a clear sign that we're fucking up. Is that just me? I get it, right? There's probably some real scientific explanation, whatever. I don't care. Let's just intentionally let's do what the right conservatives always do, and lie to ourselves, delude ourselves for the benefit, for the betterment. Let's just lie to ourselves that, yeah, this is Mother Nature, whatever, Gaia, telling us to not do this. Okay? Come on. It's fun. Come on, guys. It's fun. Just, delude yourself a little bit. Come on. Lie to yourself a little bit. It's fun. Feels good. Feels naughty. Out around 49 orcas living in the Strait of Gibraltar, GTOA researchers found a total of 15 whales from at least 3 different communities. Excellent. Maybe make the engines more silent. Maybe, fuck yachts. Yeah. Hot take. I don't know. Let's just fuck the Strait of Gibraltar. Now we got beef on the Strait of Gibraltar. I love saying Gibraltar. Why we got beef? But the orcas are just playing on humans trying to... Look, let's just misinterpret this, okay, for the benefit of mankind, and take this as a sign that we need to be doing better. The incident is the latest example of reoccurring orca rammings around the Gibraltar Strait that separates Europe from Africa and off the Atlantic coast of Portugal and northwestern Spain. Experts believe them to involve a subpopulation of about 15 individuals given the designation Gladius. Yes! Yes! Bunch of Gladius badasses that are like, I've had enough of this stupid crap. You know what? We can't stand up to Jeff, but the fucking killer whales can stand up to Jeff. They don't work through the laws of man. We need to learn the lessons from the killer whales. Okay, that's the thing that's the lesson needs to be learned here. Moving on. Now the lesson here is that the killer whales are talking to us. Okay, that the UAP aliens spoke to them. Okay, and the killer whales are telling us very directly, quit fucking up, and be cool, be better, be cooler to the environment. Be cool about fire safety. Be cool. Bridge news, bridge update. They're blowing the bitch.
Tonight we are a major step forward.
They're blowing the bitch.
Getting it back to normal in the Patapsco.
Yeah, they had controlled explosives blasting parts of the key bridge off the Darwin
Thanks for all the
ship.
fish.
It clears debris and clears the path to take the ship to port.
My favorite
WNR2
book
News'
series.
Jack Watson was there. You saw it happen. We watched
Here we
in the
go.
studio, but it had to be amazing to be there, Jack.
There goes, there goes.
What a remarkable thing to see
Blowing
in
that bitch.
person. It happened just after 5 this afternoon and lasted just a few seconds. And leaders tell us it was the best and safest
You know
way.
what? You know what? They're saying this is a controlled demolition. You know, those fucking guys will say anything's a controlled demolition nowadays.
To get all that debris off.
Here we
Today
go.
was an important part of the operation,
yeah.
an important milestone.
It went off
Yeah, it
with
was
a
made in
cloud of
Israel.
black smoke.
Oh, no!
And before you can exhale, you could hear it from miles
Sure,
away.
like that's just a
As the
coincidence.
Army Corps of Engineers commanding general
Nice.
tells us, it was
Nice.
all on purpose.
It's hard for everyone to get an appreciation of
Oh
all the
yeah,
math.
yeah, right. That's on purpose. Yeah, right. Okay, who's the conspiracy theorist now? Right. Oh, what they do? Rig this up with what? Explosives and then ignited them? Okay.
It went off with a
Right.
cloud of black smoke. And before you can exhale, you could hear it from miles away.
Yo, that's fucking awesome. So there you go. Bridge update. We don't need to watch the whole video. We saw the cool part. You get the point. They're working on it. They're hoping to have the whole thing cleared by the end. The other piece of actual relevant news is that they're hoping to have the whole thing cleared by the end of this month. So good luck to them, and it's hardworking. And also RIP once again to those hardworking construction workers. They did find the final body I think last week. Just literally, get up at 3 a.m. kind of hardworking dudes doing road work on the bridge. We heard over the radio. I played the broadcast there of the radio. The cops talking to each other, and they're like, "Yep, as soon as another cop shows up, I'm gonna drive over and tell those guys to get the hell off the bridge." And about 2 seconds later, after saying that, the bridge was literally gone. And he was like, "There's literally not a bridge to drive across anymore, guys. It's fucking gone, deleted." Really, really terrible stuff. So RIP to those guys once again. Hardworking construction workers. Terrible stuff, man. Just literally the worst. One of the worst ways to go. Hopefully it was quick. People have been criticizing me on Discord. If you want to go to the Discord, exclamation point Discord there in the chat. You'll see hundreds and hundreds of mentions of this. What is this? The Met Gala. People, the thousands of people that are in the Discord have been shouting at me for coverage on this. So I heard this and I was like, finally, I can silence, these chattering fools who are constantly telling me to report on this. And it has to do with a blockout. If you're on social media, maybe check this out. But this is really great. And, this is one of the few times where I'm like, no, the social media stuff, these vapid idiots actually care. And this could, absolutely get them to stand up on the right side of history. Because the whole point of this blockout movement is to find these celebrities that are, for their own career, for their own embetterment, for money reasons. They are not standing up for Palestine. They're not, they're just, I don't do politics. I don't talk about it. We just keep everything safe and it's all about vibes. And it's like, no, motherfuckers are dying and people are listening to you by the droves. You have responsibility to this. Elvis had the balls to do it. So should you. And it goes back to my criticisms for the Twitch celebrities as well, the political Twitch celebrities, where it's like, if you have power, if you have a voice, if you have a microphone, you should use it and stop being a coward. Okay, because it's this cowardly behavior that is allowing the oligarchy, the empire, the government, the man, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the new world order, motherfucker, buy my shirts, buy my supplements. I'm so broke, my fucking wife divorced me. I'm now married to a human frog. He's gay. Okay, I love him, but I don't know what to tell my friends. Anyway, newworldorder.com. Thank you so much, New World Order. You get what I'm saying? All right, let's watch this clip. I encourage this. This is great. Block these celebrities. Oh, they're so pretty. Oh, they're so rich. Oh, they're so cool. Whatever.
I made a Google Doc of every celebrity that attended the Met Gala, and now I'm going through and writing if they've been silent or if they've been using their platform to speak up about the genocide in Gaza.
Yeah, I love it. That voice is funky as hell. I don't know what's going on there, but I love this idea.
It's time for the people to conduct what I want to call a digital guillotine.
Whoa.
A digitine, if you will.
Whoa.
We gave them their platform.
Get canceled.
It's time to take it back.
No, I agree with that, though. They're vapid fame monsters, and at the very least, you should be standing up for human rights, okay? Your incredibly lavish lifestyle provided, the people that follow you, look, it's hard work, whatever the fuck, I don't care, right? At the very least, sitting at the top, on the very top of the lap of luxury, at the very least, you should stand up for some goddamn basic human rights positions. Oh, my career. Fuck you.
Once we start blocking, not just unfollowing,
stand up for human rights.
Maybe even muting their names on social media, none of their content is going to come up on us. And marketers and ad agencies or whoever brand deals, they're going to be like, you're not catering to our audience or
That's
the
right.
people we're looking to target,
Yeah.
and you're not going to make us money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's important. And we all
No,
know
I
the
like
celebrities want their money. That's all they give a about.
That's right.
So let's take that shit away from them by muting them, blocking them, and reporting them. Because
Hey.
who are they if they don't have a platform? Do we really care?
Oh, get it. Get it. And it is from Al Jazeera. Who knows? You've probably never heard of this. It's probably going nowhere. But I love the sentiment. I love the sentiment. And this is one of the few times where, you know what? I'll give it to the kids. I'll give it to the Zoomers. Go have fun. Social media activist away. Because honestly, the celebrities are vapid and they actually care about this. And look, you like it or not. I don't like it. But this is the reality. Celebrities have a lot of power. They can affect the zeitgeist, et cetera, et cetera. So good on you, Zoomers, TikTokers who are doing that stuff. So Davin, I actually forgot your first link here. I'm trying to blast through mine, but we'll just take a quick peek at what you're talking about. Rebellion and demise. Shoigu's fall is likely coming. Oh, interesting. Why are they? You know, what's this? What Davin? Why do you think they're? What are they? What's the purpose of throwing these people under the bus? What are they trying to do? Yeah, totally. Good luck to them. I thought your gay frog husband left you already. Look, I don't want to talk about it. Okay, look, we don't want it. We got back together. Look, I don't want to talk about it. Okay, look, you know, it's not fair. It's not fair. Okay, the new world order is trying to take over my life. Okay, and that includes my love life. I just don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, it makes me cry. Union news. Cicadas emerging into salt shakers. Yeah, so I did hear about that. I don't think I have time to report on that today. I will put that in the Discord because I did not. Woke Patriot over here getting on my dick about the evidence that Hamas is a piece of shit. But you know, I'll wait for him to get into the chat and then I'll explain to him. All right. This is really shocking footage. I have not shown this. Strategy member is convinced that I've shown this. I have not. But this is absolutely shocking.
We're taking on.
But this tells you everything. Okay. The oligarchy, the $1 million, $1 trillion companies that want to run our lives, and they absolutely do. And I have proof that they want to run our lives because they actively spend millions and millions of dollars to lobby and change our government for their own betterment, and not just financially, but also in terms of the power hierarchy. You know, if it were up to them, there would be only certain kinds of news that we would be allowed to watch, certain kinds of opinions and views that we would only be allowed to express online, et cetera, et cetera. A corporate-run world is truly a fascist-run world. In fact, some have said a government run by corporations is fascism, whatever you want to call it. But this just gives you an idea of just what they think about us. So these people are used to be employees for YouTube Music. I've used it briefly. I'm not really that big of a fan. I actually get most of my music from YouTube, ironically, but I just use regular YouTube. And the YouTube Music thing, because you know, my problem is that it kept trying to, you know, push me towards the generic stuff, the top 20 radio stuff. It's like, you know, I was just listening to DJ Screw. Why the fuck do you think I want to listen to Shakira? You know what I mean? Are you insane? And really the recommendations are, of course, the artists and music that makes them money, that, you know, would you like to buy their albums, that kind of shit. That's what they're trying to encourage. And it doesn't make any sense with my taste of music, because I'm like, I want to listen to the Chrono Trigger soundtrack, and then I want to listen to, you know, some deep bass underground, you know, like I said, DJ Screw kind of stuff. And YouTube Music was like, would you like Eminem? Like, you know, Eminem's okay, but no, I'm good. Would you like Machine Gun Kelly? No, I think I'm good. Thank you, YouTube Music. We're just going to go ahead and shut you off. I literally uninstalled it. Like, it's this whole separate app. I didn't want it. But anyway, 50 of these people who were working there were literally in the middle of, I think, you know, doing some kind of, you know, there was some kind of government council meeting or something like that. and they were reporting on how, you know, they were being threatened, that they weren't able to unionize, and then this happened.
There are less than 50 of us at YouTube Music, and we're taking on 2 of the largest corporations in the world. So to be supported by the city of Austin and also our allies in the labor community, give us the motivation to keep this fight
Not
going.
to interrupt, but they just laid us all off.
Oh.
Yeah, they just laid us all off.
We just all, I guess we just all
Our
got
jobs are ended today, effective immediately.
Wow.
I'm sorry your time's expired, but we'll follow up on this.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So that's really sad. We're going to follow up on that after we cash these checks from Google. We were looking through our massive checks from Google here, and yeah, we're going to add this to the old list. We care about workers' rights. Oh, that's so
Blatant example. That it should be, you know, the reason why they get away with this because they don't, you know, technically it's illegal to do this kind of stuff in most states, at least. Technically, it's illegal, you know, that if a group, you know, that you're not allowed to do this kind of stuff. But I guess you're allowed to do it if you literally just kill the entire division, which is probably what they did. Where they just, you know, instead of, you know, killing little bits and pieces of it selectively, they just literally cut the whole thing off. Which is, you know, you can't, if a business is not making money and that business decides to fold up and those people that were working there lose their jobs, that's not illegal. That's just business. That's unfortunate. That's just how it is. At the same time, we're not talking about your average business. You know, we're talking about one of the most successful and profitable businesses on planet Earth, right? And here they have the ability to just, oh, this is inconvenient. Chop. These guys are making too much noise. Chop that tendril off. And it just gives you, it's a blatant example of what they think about you, what the oligarchy thinks about you. And let's not get it twisted. These people have captured government, not completely, but almost completely. And characters like Donald Trump would enable them to have so much control over our government, you know, in only a few years, you would fail to recognize what your government has turned into. It would be a nanny state like you wouldn't believe, turning the whole country into one of those minor towns, you know, those company towns, turning the whole fucking country into a fucking company town. Okay? Nightmare shit, Orwell shit. And you fucking bet you Jeff Bezos wants to see that as a reality. So it's just, you know, I just thought I'd show that to you. Nice little picture of what they think about us. So this is actually pretty big news. Did I have a video lined up for it? I probably should. I might have a video lined up about this on Saturday when I have more time. But Chinese tariffs, absolutely banana shit here. That's the technical term. Washington, May 14th, U.S. President Joe Biden on Tuesday unveiled a bundle of steep tariff increases on an array of Chinese imports, including electric vehicles, computer chips, and medical products, risking an election year standoff with Beijing in a bid to woo voters who give his economic policies low marks. Now, you know what's ironic to me? This is literally, when Donald Trump was running for office, this was like literally the one I was like giving him the broken clock credit. I was like, yeah, no, we do need to talk about China and its currency manipulation and what it's trying to do to the economy and how unfair it is and yada, 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 right? There was actually, because he was talking about it, he's like, oh, the currency manipulation, oh, China's up to something. And then he gets into office, dude, and he's all just like, oh, Xi Jinping, so brilliant. Oh my God, don't you know he runs his country? When he says jump, they say how high. I just wish I could run the country like Xi Jinping does. He's so great. He didn't do jack shit. I mean, he actually, apparently he did pass tariffs. But Joe Biden is doubling, quadrupling some of these tariffs, including the biggest increase, 100% tariff on electric vehicles. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Because China is, of course, hoping to, you know, copy Tesla and, you know, copy all these other companies and sell their, quite frankly, and I'm not trying to be racist here, but try to sell their poorly made, because they are, cheap knockoffs in the United States and other markets, while protecting their own market. That's what's shocking, is that they have all these protections against other countries participating in their market in their country, but they're like, oh, we're happy to exploit other countries. It's very unfair, and it's been getting worse and worse and worse. Biden will keep tariffs put in place by his Republican predecessor Donald Trump while ratcheting up others. The White House said in a statement, citing unacceptable risks to U.S. economic security posed by what it considers unfair Chinese practices that are flooding global markets with cheap goods. So, yeah, like I said, one of the few things where it's like, yeah, Trump was right on that one. And I guess he did follow through. All right. Okay. All right. Fine. You get a 1 millisecond plus a flush. But it's more of a flush like Married with Children, where like the Fox News crowd poops and hollers because you took a poopy. Congratulations, Donald Trump. The new measures impact $18 billion in Chinese imported goods, including steel and aluminum, semiconductors, batteries, critical minerals, solar cells, and cranes, the White House said. The announcement confirmed earlier, Reuters reporting. The direct impact to their economy is great, but really what's most important is that suppliers outside of China are now going to see a big increase in orders. They're going to, because these companies need to continue to make their products. They need the chips, they need the steel, they need blah, 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 the batteries. So they're going to go other places. So we're probably going to see, much more than $18 billion of economic generation, these businesses looking for different sources now that it's like, oh my God, I'm not going to import a car when there's like 100% tariff. Are you insane? Especially for like, what should be like a $40,000 car. Now I got to sell it at $90,000 just to make any money. And it's supposed to be, and it's clearly a $40,000, Japanese knockoff or I'm sorry, Chinese knockoff. Anyway, the United States imported 427 billion goods from China in 2023 and exported 148 billion in the world's to the world's number 2 economy, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. A trade gap that has persisted for decades and become an ever more sensitive subject in Washington. One thing I would like to know more about, get an update on, is the unbelievable debt that China owns, of Chinese currency and American debt. Well, China's using the same playbook it has before to power its own growth at the expense of others by continuing to invest despite excess Chinese capacity and flooding global markets with exports that are underpriced due to unfair practices. White House National Economic Advisor Lael Brainard told reporters on a conference call. So yeah, it's all true. And Joe Biden has no problem keeping a bunch of Donald Trump policies in place, as we've seen with the border wall, the ridiculous border wall that he makes fun of, but then he approves funds to continue building. It doesn't work, by the way. It doesn't fucking work. It's already rusting and falling apart, but let's go ahead and finish it. And of course, just the migration policies in general. We saw him literally giving the Republicans the Heritage Fund bill and signing off on it and saying, okay, that's fine. I'll put my name on this horrific bill allowing us to treat people like absolute animals at the border. I mean, I don't like the idea of just letting people, just kicking people back, women and children, just kicking them back out. But I also don't like this idea that there's like just some goofy loophole where as long as you cross the barrier, you fill out a quick little bit of paperwork and then you're kind of stuck in the American legal system for several years before anything can happen. I don't think that's a really smart way of doing it either. I'd prefer some kind of system where, they get proper documentation and they get put into some kind of, track so they can find opportunity and find work, and they don't have to, let's turn them into taxpayers as quickly as possible. Let's, get them a house, get them a place to stay. Along with everyone else in America, by the way. But you know what I mean? Let's turn them into productive members of society as quickly as possible and fulfill that promise about being the shining city on the hill. Because truly, one of the things that makes America so great and has made us so great over the years is the fact that we're a melting pot. Let me just remind everybody, we have so much room in the United States, okay? We don't have to put everybody in California. We don't have to put everybody in Texas. There's actually an incredible amount of space. And last time I checked, it doesn't take hundreds of billions of dollars to, build some buildings. And I just don't understand why I just don't get it. It's easier to treat their kids like shit and put them in a fucking, cement prison than it is to just, I don't know, build a fucking immigrant town. Right? That expands, turn it into immigrant metropolis. I don't know. Anyway, China, tariffs. Look it up. It's interesting stuff. We'll definitely be following up on this on Saturday. I don't have much time. I got to keep moving. I found this video to be absolutely fascinating, just to give you an idea of what's going on in the rest of the world. Here comes, and once again, here's the right wing. The right wingers that love to, that love to hate watch me. It's fascinating. Do I need to remind the right winger before I, time them out? I have time. I have time for this. This is literally the poem on the Statue of Liberty. This is, the Statue of Liberty, the thing that, the icon of America, the thing that represents America most succinctly, in its most purest fashion.
Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame.
Welcome back, Smash.
With conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch.
Listen.
Whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles.
Mother of Exiles.
From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that Twin Cities frame. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips.
Keep.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free.
You listening?
The wretched refuse of your teeming shore.
Right.
Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my light beside the golden door.
That's the America
Emma
I know.
Lazarus.
That's the America I know. Not this twisted, sick MAGA version that would have us throw away our principles, throw away our morality for some dictator, for some king. So keep your anti-immigrant, anti-American bullshit out of my chat, motherfucker. So I found this video to be fascinating. Over here in Myanmar, the civil war is brewing, and this is the unfortunate reality in a lot of these places. Child soldiers, and this is what it looks like, folks. From Radio Free Asia.
ဟုတ်ကျမနာမည်ကတော့မိုးပြည့်စုံဖြစ်ပါတယ်အသက်ကတော့18ပါရှမ်းပြည်နယ်မြောက်ပိုင်းကနေပြီးတော့မှဒီကင်းဒီဘက်ကိုတော်လိုင်းရေးလာလောက်တာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီဘက်ကိုဝင်တာမဟုတ်ဘူးဟိုချင်းဘက်မှာတော့ကလေးကစောက်ဝင်တာလေချင်းပြည်ဘက်မှာပြီးမှဒီဘက်ကိုရွှေ့လာတာအဲ့လို2020လောက်တုန်းကလေးကလေအာနာသိမ့်ပြီးတစ်နှစ်ကြာအဲ့တုန်းကလေးကတော်လိုင်းရေးဝင်နေတာအဲ့တုန်းကလေး
That's fine. Just leave it morning.
ချင်းဘက်မှာတော့တက်တိုက်ဖူးတယ်အတွေ့အကြုံရှိတယ်ဟုတ်တစ်ခါလောက်တက်ဖူးတယ်ပွဲတော်တော်များများတော့လိုက်ဖူးတယ်လေဟိုချင်းပြည်ဘက်မှာနေတော့တင်နေဆရာပါပေါ့ဒီဘက်ရောက်တော့ရဲဘော်ဘွားတိုက်ခိုက်ရဲပဲဝင်ထားပါတယ်
Wow.
အမီတို့ကတော့ရောင်ပါပဲရှမ်းပြည်မှာပဲဟုတ်စိတ်ပူလားစိတ်ပူတာပေါ့မပူဘူး
Yeah, there's no way she'd live to see 30. There's no fucking way. Look, and that because that's just the reality.
We fight with the future. Don't give up.
It's not because of her talent or her skill. One mortar round and you're smoked. It doesn't matter how Rambo you are. It doesn't matter how skilled you are. So there you go. Just a little taste of the civil war over there in Myanmar. You can bet we'll be following up and more coverage on what's happening over there, as well as the many other incursions happening in that region. Moving on over here to Indonesia. There are dozens killed in cold lava mudslides, flash floods in western Indonesia. You know, it's a shame. You know, mainstream media has really been dropping the ball when it comes to reporting on this stuff, because you know I have the mainstream media plugged into my TV, and you know when I turn on my TV and the goddamn garbage that they're covering, you know, of course it's just 24/7 Trump. And you know they give about 5 seconds to actual news happening in other places. Myanmar battle lines. Thank you for that update, Davey. If you want to follow that link for more information about Myanmar.
Police, soldiers, and volunteers have formed a search and rescue team, hoping to find survivors following flash floods in West Sumatra. Heavy downpours and torrents of cold lava from one of Indonesia's most active volcanoes, Mount Merapi, caused a river to breach its banks and engulf mountainside villages in the province.
The flooding was very sudden. The river became blocked, which eventually resulted in an outburst of water everywhere. It was out of control.
Almost 100 homes were severely hit, with temporary evacuation centers set up by the local government. The National Disaster Management Agency said equipment and personnel have been deployed to clear the roads blocked by fallen tree trunks. The disaster comes just 2 months after heavy rains triggered floods and landslides in West Sumatra, killing at least 21 people and leaving 5 others missing.
You know, and once again, I go back to the fact that these local governments, you know, they're just wholly dependent on aid. And of course, I'm not saying that means we should stop the aid, but I'm really getting sick and tired of these corrupt government, you know, these family dynasties that are in charge in some of these places. And they're getting fat off of, you know, U.S. trade deals. And, you know, everybody in the West is happy because you're playing the game. But meanwhile, you're doing jack shit for your people. I'm just getting really sick of it. But at the same time, it's not like they can do it alone. They do get a lot of popular support, using dirty techniques, of course, but all the same. So this was a really, really interesting graph here from you know, one of the wonderful chatters, Leon. Thank you, Leon, for this contribution. Really fascinating stuff, looking at the poll numbers for Brexit here. Brain just not working correctly. I want to make sure I'm spelling things correctly. But just to give you an idea of kind of how the missed opportunity that Keir Starmer has kind of had here by avoiding Brexit, because as you can see, the poll numbers with the question here, was Britain right or wrong to leave the EU? You know, they kind of speak for themselves. So at the start here in 2020, we can see, you know, 40%, 46% wrong, 40% right. And we see, these things change as the election, you know, as the decision goes, you know, happens, and different strategies are put in place by the Tories. But as you can see, it's basically wildly out of control. Oh, you know, that's actually interesting right there. Right here, that feels like the Ramoner campaign right here. 2020 to 2021. Was that the Ramoner campaign, or you know, oh god, that's fascinating right there. Look at that. But you know, as things were settling in, we can see as the reality, you know, it finally does break that around 2022. It finally breaks that 50% barrier. And you know, as the economic changes, you know, don't come through, the promises, you know, are not kept. The local businesses are going away. The paperwork is piling up if you want to keep your business. You know, all those lies that Nigel Farage told us. The Boris Johnson told us. Fucking Mog. That motherfucker told us. Mr. Monocle. So don't let the gaslighters lie to you. Brexit is wildly unpopular, and for good reason. It's not because of the Labour Party and their lies, and they're convincing everybody that a good thing is a bad thing. No, it's legitimately a bad thing. And quite frankly, if Keir Starmer gets into office, which is very likely that he is with the Labour Party there, and doesn't do anything about reversing Brexit, vocally being out there and saying Brexit was wrong. Okay, I'm in office. I'm no longer afraid to say that. We are going to systemically dismantle what happened with Brexit and reinstitute. We're going to rejoin the EU. We understand we'll probably get worse deals, but it's more important to get back in here. We're going to negotiate like hell, but it's more important to do this. We understand that there's people who live in the UK who would like to vacation. At the very least, because imagine you used to be able to vacation in all these wonderful places, and now you got to go through passports, and there's all kind of paperwork, and it's like, wait a minute, I used to be a citizen. Kind of. I'm a world citizen of the EU. It's very fascinating stuff. All right, moving on to Gaza here. It looks like we won't have time for Ukraine, but that means I'll just be covering it tomorrow during the lunch break there, because I just got a small little lunch break here. Wanted to open up with this, news right here, talking about Hamas in general, because unfortunately, what we do see on the left is, look. What this is what I see happening with Hamas and the left. Okay, Fox. Yeah, no, Brexit wasn't so bad. Yeah, okay, sure, bud. The mountain of evidence that speaks otherwise doesn't matter, right? Your feelings matter more. Might want to upgrade my set of arguments. Yeah. Brexit was really good. You're right. Boris Johnson had the right idea. Hasn't been a total disaster for your economy. I certainly couldn't back that up with a mountain of evidence. I couldn't simply type that in and pull up fucking hours and hours of YouTube videos of academics going over, policy by policy, move by move, how it's been a net negative for the UK, for the British economy. But no, okay. Yeah, you're right now. I'm just being hyperbolic. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyway, moving on to Gaza. This is what I see happening amongst the left. Of course, they don't support Hamas, but they support Palestine. They understand that the Palestinians 20 years ago voted for Hamas. It's sticky. And what a lot of lefties are trying to do is kind of resist right-wing narratives about, lies that are told, or half-truths that are told about how, left-wingers that are protesting support Hamas automatically, that supporting Palestine automatically means you're supporting Hamas. So there's kind of a knee-jerk effort to resist those narratives, and it's kind of easy to get them flustered when they're just when a person with a microphone walks up to some of these people and says, "Do you support Hamas?" Because then they go, they don't want to answer that question, because they themselves are confused about the connection between Hamas and Palestine. The reason why they're confused is because there's not enough lefty talking heads like me who are helping them articulate the difference between Hamas and a legitimate resistance is that a legitimate resistance wouldn't be using their population in such a cynical way. The whole human shield narrative has gotten really confused. But in a way, Hamas is holding the Palestinians hostage. When they make moves, they're not making moves that benefit the Palestinians. In fact, you could say the moves that they've made recently, especially since October 7th, have benefited Bibi Netanyahu, Because what does Bibi Netanyahu need more than anything? What has actually saved his electoral chances? Hamas on October 7th. If it wasn't for that, he might even be in jail, according to some people. So it can be really difficult for regular lefties, regular student lefties who love human rights and they know what's happening is wrong, but they don't know all the inner working, the politics of it. It's like, even I don't know all the little mini factions that disagree with Hamas. There's that one guy that's considered the I did it every time. I do it every goddamn time. Considered a great humanitarian, in the Gaza Strip, and he was immediately arrested by the IDF. Apartheid. It just, every damn time it slips my mind. I gotta read his books. But that's the problem, is that the left, the people, the talking heads, the people that the left are listening to, right? The YouTubers, the influencers, they're not doing a very good job of denouncing Hamas, quite frankly. They kind of get gummed up when they're asked, isn't terrorism bad? And it's like, well, I don't want to be used in this narrative that is currently dehumanizing Palestinians about how every Palestinian is Hamas. I don't want to get wrapped up into that, and I don't want to, fall down that rabbit hole. So I understand that, but at the same time, we need a proper response to this, because, and this is all the setup for this video here. So here we have evidence, and I've seen this time and time again. This was provided by Davey, and I don't deny its existence, or whatnot. But we see, it maybe it shows Hamas, maybe it doesn't, but it does show, guys, armed dudes hanging around UNRWA, UN, and it's like, I've reported on and shown eyewitness reports. Welcome back, Davey. But I've shown eyewitness reports of doctors who worked in these hospitals. They're like, yeah, no, I saw Hamas coming and going, storing things here. And what are you going to do if you're a Palestinian? Right? You stand up to Hamas and you say, you're not allowed to operate here. You're not allowed to do your business here. And you get smoked, you get killed, dude. That's what I'm talking about. They're not a government representing its people, some kind of resistance. They're terrorists that are, falling in line narratively for the extremist right-wing government of Bibi Netanyahu. Extremely counterproductive to the peace process. And the left needs to teach everybody a language of how to separate these two, how to speak eloquently about the difference between Palestine and Hamas. Because it's very good. It's a very good thing that we want to fight against this disingenuous narrative that every Palestinian is Hamas. Because look at this. They put their people in danger. Could be private security. And, it's very private security guys might work for Hamas, right? Because you can make some money, right? Get your hands on some good shit. So there's probably a lot of crossover there. Fatah. So Hamas's rival political party is Fatah. Fatah dominates the Palestine. Yeah, well, the PLO are corrupt. The Palestinian Authority is corrupt. And rules in the West Bank, while Hamas is the largest military group in Palestinian territories, and the two major political two parties have been. So they're, who's the goddamn Nelson Mandela? Who's the Nelson Mandela of Palestine? What's his name? Hold on. Too many Nelson Mandela articles. What's that homie's name? He was locked up immediately by the Manwar. Was it Manwar? What's his nuts? Manwar. Yeah, Manwar Barghouti. Yeah. So, not a perfect character. Not a perfect character by any means. Okay, welcome back, Clutch Cargo. Welcome back, Woke Patriot. Not a perfect character by any means. right? A guy that I probably would disagree with on a lot of things. But what we wouldn't disagree with on is how Hamas is not interested in governing. And not only that, he was extremely popular with the people of the Gaza Strip. So instead of locking him up, we should do what the United States has done in a million other times. Artificially prop this guy up, install a technocratic government, create some stability in the Gaza Strip, rebuild schools and homes and hospitals and all the infrastructure that Israel has destroyed, rebuild all of it while artificially propping this guy up so that eventually you could unify the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. The reason why they're not... So what I'm trying to get at is that there's solutions on the table that don't involve blowing the fuck out of everything and locking everything up and preventing Palestinians from getting their territory back and yada, yada, yada. Ethnic cleansing. There's actually a solution that doesn't involve ethnic cleansing. There are solutions there that exist. No, exactly, Woke Patriot. Israel's locked them up. There are solutions that exist that don't involve 3,000 ton bombs, bunker busters, and all the rest. It's never talked about on mainstream media. Never. It's always assumed that the only solution to this is military. Just like with Iraq and Afghanistan, war on America, war on terror. It was assumed this is the only solution, when in fact, the only viable solution against terrorism is creating a healthy and stable middle class. Right? People, the moment there's a viable alternative to Hamas, people immediately want it. People would immediately want it, and yes, that includes the barbaric Palestinians who better watch out. If you give them an ounce of freedom, that they'll build up their weapon cache and start blowing us up. There's a fucking reason why that might happen. And if you want to change that, you create a different scenario where violence and revenge isn't the only solution. Why would I commit violence and revenge when I could have a stable middle class lifestyle? And I could feed my kids and sure, I'm not gonna have any friends in Israel. I'm not gonna be calling up my Israeli buddies in my lifetime. But I'm not going to participate in a suicide bomb, terrorist attack when I can sell my products and live a normal life in my country that is treated normally. The best way to get rid of terrorism is to create a healthy and viable middle class, and that's the one thing that's never talked about by the West or Israel. And quite frankly, when the left is confronted with the gotcha question of, well, you don't like terrorism, right? Hamas is bad, right? I often see them fumble. I often see them dance around this question because they, like I said, they don't want to fall into that narrative of, all Palestinians are Hamas. So I'm not going to sit here and defend Hamas, but the left should have the ability to say terrorism is bad. The left should have the ability to, differentiate between a legitimate government resistance and a fucking disgusting, gross terrorist operation that has no fucking interest in governing. The left should be able to, figure that out. Article here from Woke Patriot, I believe. Thank you, Woke Patriot. Got just a few more minutes. Sorry, but this is all I got time for. I got to get back to the kid. Secret Hamas files show how it spied on everyday Palestinians. Hamas monitored political activity, online posts, and apparently even love lives. Palestinians were stuck between an Israeli blockade and a repressive security force. So while they should have been negotiating and working on, their ties internationally and getting respected internationally, while they, trying to, build farms and hospitals and schools and, try to give some kind of semblance of life to the Palestinians and defend their plight against the West, they institute a fucking police state, a security police state. Yeah, dirty crackhead indeed. Clutch cargo, yep. Pretty much. Exactly, dirty crackhead. It's called blowback, and like we're gonna sit here and pretend like the United States and Israel doesn't know exactly what the fuck that means. You know what? You know, like we don't have some kind of history of mankind to prove that when you put baby in a corner, baby starts swinging. That's just how human beings work. And we're just going to ignore the fact that that's exactly what was happening. There was a full-blown blockade on the Gaza Strip for like since 2015 after Israel left, or 2005. What was it? 2015 or 2005? But at the same time, the left needs to have when that, because what's the right wing coming at you with the next comment? Oh, well, what do you mean? Does that mean that Hamas is justified in October 7th? Are you saying Hamas is justified? And someone who's a fucking moron like Hassan might say, well, okay, yeah, I mean, because Hamas is a resistance group and blah blah blah. No, you need to have the ability to say, these atrocities can be avoided if we allow Palestinians to be treated like human beings. That these atrocities are horrible and should be condemned, but are inevitable when people are treated in the way that the Palestinians were treated. It takes a certain amount of gravitas and balls, I guess, to say that. But far too often I see this lazy response. Well, they're a resistance group and they're representing Palestinian freedom. The fuck they are. This is their because they're theocratic authoritarian because they're a theocratic authoritarian nightmare. What do they spend their resources on? Spying on their own people, making sure that they could try to control dissent. Okay, not every report about Hamas shooting their own people is fake. There's far too much evidence of this disgusting organization using the Palestinians for their own political gain, not protecting them. I don't have time to read this. I literally have time for one more video, and it's this video here. If you would like to read this, this is a link from our buddy Woke Patriot. Thank you so much, Woke Patriot. Yeah, Woke Patriot doesn't make it right. And quite frankly, I think you would agree that Hamas and the Gaza Strip being in the critical situation that it is, it's a bit of wasted time and resources to be putting into, spying on your own people. Wouldn't you agree? Pretty tight situation. Should be buttoning down and making sure you're competent and making sure you're, using all, firing on all cylinders, trying to keep your people safe and keep your people liberated from the onslaught of Israel. Instead, you're wasting time trying to control PR because you're not going to be governing. Last bit of video here. People have been talking about this. I need to talk about it, but the so-called activists, they're not the only armed resistance, though. And if people didn't have a barrel, if the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip didn't have a barrel to their head, barrel of a gun to their head, they would gladly choose a different government. But they're being held hostage by a terrorist organization that doesn't give a shit about how many of them die in the next Israeli bombing. They're not even there. The 4 battalions in Rafah, they're not even there. They've been in the tunnels the whole time. Thank you, Woke Patriot. I appreciate you compromising in the argument, because it's complicated. I do agree, but quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of seeing the left getting all choked up and jammed up on the terrorism bad argument. Okay, Hassan should be able to articulate why Hamas is a piece of shit. Not do some lazy they're the only resistance argument. Anyway, this is the last video. These disgusting so-called activists doing everything in their power to make sure the people of the Gaza Strip are starving. Their argument is that 100% of this aid goes to Hamas. And that's not true. But what is true is that portions of this does go to Hamas. Hamas absolutely does take a certain portion of it, steal as much as they can. And yes, they even sell it in the marketplaces. They take the aid and sell it and then, use the money for their own disgusting aims. That does happen. It doesn't help anybody if the left denies that. But my argument to that is, even if you cut this off completely, Hamas is still going to end up getting, they'll be the last group that gets the food that that Hezbollah is going to smuggle in and yada yada, whatever they can smuggle in. But honestly, the only way blocking off food and water to the Palestinians could work in hurting Hamas is if they do it completely and for months on end. For months on end. The amount of suffering you would have to, I'm talking millions of people would probably die. There's only a little over 2 million people in the Gaza Strip. But I'm saying you would have to, for this to actually hurt Hamas, because Hamas would be the last group, right, that isn't supplied, right? Just like we've seen with any military, right? The military are the last people that get the last bit of resources when the society is collapsing. So you would have to inflict serious damage on men, women, and children, innocent men, women, and children who want nothing to do with Hamas, who just want to live their life. They want to fucking grow olives, okay? And they're not allowed to do that. They're not an automatic threat to Israel, their existence. So we got to kill all of those people for this to work. And really what it is, it's a sign that, look, there's a certain element of Israeli society that supports the eradication of the Palestinian people, the Palestinian state. They want to destroy it, eradicate it, erase it, gone, and genocide it. Yes. Technically, this is an attempted genocide, currently active as an ethnic cleansing. But for these people, it's an attempted genocide. For Bibi Netanyahu, he'd be happy with an ethnic cleansing and just continuing to blockade and holding everybody prisoner indefinitely, I guess. Perpetually. He doesn't like a two-state solution, but apparently he also doesn't like the idea of complete Palestinian eradication. Maybe because the terrorist threat, the boogeyman, is a really great political motivator. I don't know. So thank you for your comments. Here's some juice in that thread I linked. A juicy thread explains why Prigozhin wanted Shoigu gone. Thank you. I'm going to put that over in the Discord, and we'll definitely have that lined up for tomorrow during the next lunch break. So sorry, folks. I do got to get rolling. Big props to your boy, Dirty Crackhead. Thank you for coming back in. It's a long time no see. Thank you so much, Davin. Big props to you, Woke Patriot. Thank you again, Woke Patriot, for all your wonderful links. Same to you, Davey. If you want to join the Discord, contribute to the News Underground, make sure you type that ! Discord. Huck Finn, thank you for your comments there. It looks like you're a new user. Thank you for coming in. Do appreciate your comments. Your boy Clutch Cargo, big props to you. Thanks for following, Huck Finn. Appreciate it. Nice. If you're a fan of news, if you're a fan of information, if you're a fan of getting shit done and being a political activist, this is the motherfucking home for that shit, dude. It's the News Underground. Mr. Fox there, I'm keeping an eye on you. Thank you for coming in. The Woke Patriot, Woke Patriot once again, but also the Ponder Monkey. Got your names mixed up. Thank you, Ponder Monkey. Opinionator, go ahead and suck my dick. I didn't even have to ban you. You just ran away like a scared little bitch. Fuck you, the Opinionator. Suck my entire middle finger. Lenny, big props over there from south of Boston. Thank you so much, Lenny. Big props to you and your boy Davey. Thank you, Davey, once again. Hey, folks, if you want to see some absolutely gruesome, absolutely horrific videos of the Russian army getting its ass kicked by Ukraine, make sure you check out the Discord. Davey has been posting the realest motherfucking links you'd ever seen in your life, including a link that I will be showing on Saturday, but I'm going to have to completely censor the whole video, of a Ukrainian badass, a legitimate Rambo taking on 4 Russians at once and winning. It's the absolute most amazing and most incredible Ukrainian video I think I've seen this entire war. Absolute hero right there, and he does barely make it out in the end when his homies rescue him. I can't wait to show it to you folks. It's an absolute triumph of bravery. from the Ukrainians there. Smash, thank you so much for coming in. Smash, once again, big props to you, Smash. Strategy member, thank you, Strategy member. You're the best. Thank you so much for all your links in the Discord. Strategy member. Rob MQ, big props to your boy Rob MQ for coming in, being a regular. I do appreciate that regular view. Thank you, Rob MQ. And all you lurkers out there, big props to the motherfucking lurkers, okay, who like to keep it real. Keep it real. I'm keeping my eye on you, Fox. All right, peace in that motherfucking Middle East and glory to the Ukrainian democracy. Let's not forget the 3-step solution to create real political change. It's the only thing that's ever worked, as Clutch Cargo likes to say. Step 1, inform yourself. That's why you're here. Step 2, put your name down. All right? Sign up for that protest organization. Sign up for that union. Sign up to help that politician that you think is actually going to create change and not just talk shit. They do exist. Step 3, you got to put in the work like Charlie Kirk and stop being a bitch about it. Stop being a bitch about putting in the work for your society and putting in the work for your culture and putting in the work to make sure that your, government is actually held to account. It's not that hard, and goddamn it, it's your responsibility. If we don't take responsibility for it, we're gonna fucking lose it, and that's straight up. That's how it fucking works. So peace in that motherfucking Middle East. Once again, we'll talk to you real soon. It's that News Underground, bitch. That News Underground, motherfuckers. That's right. One of us you trust is one of us. I don't know what you say, Bo Patriot. Thank you for coming in, folks. It's News Underground.